my name is KARINA Houston, owner of Hopper Web Designs and your favorite training and development specialist. And I'm here with the Love Doctor.
I am TYONNA Boswell with TYONNA ALEXIS TV, and I am so excited to be here today. Stay tuned for a great show.
Hi, I am WYRENAE King, the weight loss coach and the owner, creator, founder of Gym Time, the premier weight loss program. I am so excited to be here and excited about talking about this topic.
What's going on, ladies and gentlemen? It's your boy, Lance Anderson, aka The Love Doctor. You know where we at. You know where we at. Come on. Now we at the BrotherHood, but today I had to bring the queens on the show. Let's join the show.
Different men have came and gone, but their legacies will last forever. But now, who is going to step up to the plate? Who is going to lead by example? Who is going to be the new leader of the BrotherHood?
Yeah, it's time. And we're back. Yes, ladies and gentlemen, like I told you at first, we got the queens on deck.
Yes, sir.
We got the queens on deck.
Yes,
I had to tell the men to chill out right quick because for us to grow, we gotta hear from our other side, our other hand, you know what I'm saying? Our other rib. So today we want to talk about the men. So queens, from a woman's and a queen perspective, what can you say, for example, have y'all seen that men can grow more on? Like, it can be spiritually, it can be mentally, personally, relationship-wise. Like, what? I'm giving the ladies the mic. I'm giving the women the mic.
Right on. You want to take it first?
Go ahead. No, you go
All
ahead.
right. Where can you all grow?
Mm-hmm.
So I'm gonna say, one, communication. But that's a lot tied to it, right? So you can't just say, oh, we want you to communicate better. Because to communicate better, you got to do a couple of things.
Right.
And one of the biggest things I think, especially for our black community with our kings, is that we have to heal from things that, you know, maybe they don't even know they need to heal from, or that they just like, okay, well, this is just how I am as a man. As a man, we're supposed to not cry, not have feelings. So in order to be able to communicate and understand, like, you know, they talk about love languages. So to be able to understand your significant other's love language, you got to heal. And I'm gonna start right there. So what y'all got? Before I go deep, they gotta heal. So and let me just say, because people are like, oh, everybody say communicate better. But the thing about it is, if you're not comfortable with telling me how you feel, or you don't feel like it's a welcomed environment, how are you gonna communicate with me that, hey, I'm just feeling a little off today, or hey, I'm just going through some things, right? Because that's often like shown as aggression, or men will just shut down. So I say communicate, and people think, all right, communicate, yeah, but there's so much more that goes with that.
Right.
I think in order for our kings to truly be able to communicate, and first is just healing themselves. So I'm gonna start there. What y'all think?
That was good.
Okay, well, for me, I think it's a couple of things. I think that growth and maturity has to happen within yourself. So you have to learn who you are as a person, as an individual.
Absolutely.
Before you want to tie yourself or become one with someone else. And what I have seen that potentially happens is people get into relationships not knowing who they are, and then they have these unspoken expectations that people place on each other and expect them to abide by and live by things that you never even said out loud.
Right.
But this is an expectation that you formulated over the years, and nobody knows it but you. So if you can't articulate your needs, your wants, or even know what you need and what you want, how can you expect somebody else to either, oblige you and do those things that you like if you can't? It's communication, but it's like you start with you first.
Right.
So I can't ask something of you that I'm not willing to give for myself.
Right. And if you don't understand yourself, how can you communicate? It goes all together, right? If you haven't taken that time, because one thing I see that a lot of people, men and women, do in our culture is they go from situation to situation.
Absolutely.
So, okay, you didn't do it for me, that's fine. This person does this for me. You know, I get the wild side from this person. I get the, okay, like kind of calm. I can go watch a movie with this person. But it's like, you're not tapping into, and I'm going to go with spirituality because, you know, I'm a spiritual person. But you're not tapping into that need that needs to be met. So if you're not letting God, you know, fill that void in your life, you're going to go from Keisha, Letitia, Tanya, Felicia, R.I.P. DMX. But yeah.
And I think you have a great point because as we discussed the age range, since I am 21 and I'm still in college, I do deal with a whole different
absolutely.
mindset and level of maturity. A lot of people say I'm very mature for my age, so I do struggle when it comes to, you know, kind of the dating and relationship things because my mentality is focused a lot different than what is like the social norm in society, like on campus. And so I say, you know, the things that y'all were saying, those are great points because I think that these men that, you know, y'all are recognizing these areas they can grow in, those are also people that these young men in college are looking up to. So I think that's why it's a lot of the times why young women, even starting at my age, deal with the same things that women are dealing with, you know, in their late 20s, early 30s, and 40s, because these are the same people that are teaching the young men, but they're also not recognizing areas that they need to improve on. So it's like, if it's not brought to their attention and them receiving it, then it's going to be a repetitive cycle that we constantly see. And I say that recognizing it because women can tell their significant other all day, you know, I see these areas that you lack in, this is what we can do together to help improve it, but are they going to be receptive? Because it's all about how they receive it, because they can hear you, but then they also may get offended and, like you said, go on to the next person because like, well, I don't like what she's saying, or I didn't like how she said that, so I'm just talking to somebody that will put up with more of what I dish out than rather actually receiving what they're saying and saying, oh, well, now that you point that out, maybe this is an area that I can improve on, but it doesn't make me a bad person.
What they say, Doc, accountability sounds like an attack when you're not ready. It's an attack. So if I'm telling you, hey, King, like, what's going on? You seem like you're losing your mojo. Like, well, you're not doing anything with yourself. Oh, whatever. That sounds like an attack because they're not ready to make that change and make that step.
It's all about maturity.
Absolutely.
Like you said, like having that one-on-one time with yourself, knowing that you're ready to get into this relationship. You're ready to bring somebody else in your life. You're ready to have more responsibilities. I feel like a lot of people don't diagnose that before they get into a relationship. And so one thing that I feel like is a big topic that a lot of men go through, I feel like a lot of women don't speak up on, but you give hints, but you don't really clarify this, is leadership. So we about to get deep. So that's why I bring these queens here. So when we talk about leadership, I want to talk about two sides of the leadership. We can talk about this one first. Leading you as a queen, like making you grow better, pushing you to your limits, making you be the best you can be, and also spiritually leading. So who want to cover that?
Yes,
I'm
sir.
going to say tapping in, it starts with you first.
It
always starts with you first.
Absolutely.
Like that relationship has to be present. And for me, I believe that a man should be a leader because women were emotional. Men are more categorized. They're methodical thinkers. So in that aspect, the emotionalism, because I'm going to say this, we emotional. And everything is I feel. Whereas a man compartmentalizes and says, well, the fact of the matter is, it's factual. This is what I've seen, this is what I touched, what I felt. And in leadership, you do have to have that methodical thinking. So I think that, you know, the way we were created, man was created first. He was given dominion over the land. He was given a job. He was supposed to do this. And then he was put to sleep and God said, hey, let me give you a little bit of help because you need a little help. You know, you need a little caress, a little touch, a little love, a little help. So I'm gonna give you this. And then woman was created. You know, so and then you all know the story, what happened, whatever. We're not gonna get in that part. But as far as leadership, you know, we do have an expectation of a man leading. And I have had this conversation a lot. Like, as a woman, I am independent, but I'm tired. I don't want to be independent all the time. Like, I want a man to be the leader.
Let me tell you. Like, go ahead.
I got one thing to say. I ain't mean to.
Go ahead. Speak for the kings.
I ain't trying to speak for the kings. But I'm talking about one thing I wanted to stop is, I mean, y'all can correct me if you want to. Using the word independent. I feel like independent puts you in a mindset when you're self-driven. When a lot of independent ways are just responsibility.
Okay,
I think I can clarify on that.
Go ahead.
I was gonna say I think when a lot of women kind of portray this independent role and let the men know that they're independent is because they don't want to have a man feel like he has to add additional stress having to take care of someone that can't take care of themselves. Because I feel like in today's society, and you know, and with history, it's not out of the norm for women to have their own. Like we work now. We're not just stay-at-home moms. Like we have our own business, our careers. We're goal-driven too.
Right.
So it's like when we, as goal-driven women, let our partner know, or someone we're pursuing, that we're independent, we're just letting him know, hey, I don't want you to, you know, think that I won't have a life outside of you, or I'm not whole by myself. Because I think that puts a lot of pressure on young men especially too, because I am only 21 years old, but from my experiences, I know that a lot of young men that I've met, sometimes they say, I'm intimidated because I look like I have myself together, or I have it all together. And the truth is, nobody ever has it all together. And I think sometimes young men especially, they kind of feel the pressure that, you know, if she's so established in this and has all this going on, am I good enough? So it's like we establish that independence. Like you don't have to worry about having to take care of me or always having to pay for everything. Like if you need help, you can talk to me. Because a lot of guys have told me, they're like, well, I want to get you something for your birthday, but it's like you have everything. So it's like, what can I do for you? And it's like, you have to have that confidence as a man in himself to know that even though she is a go-getter, a hustler, and she has all this, you know, going on in her life, I can still add to her by supporting her and her supporting me. I think it's kind of that communication, like you said, communicating that.
But see, they gotta step their king up though, because for somebody, and I used to dim my light because people would tell me I'm intimidated by you. Like you seem like you got it all together. You don't need me.
Confidence.
But the right person, they gonna step up to that. Okay, if I see I really want to be with this woman, I like this woman. Let me see what I need to do. Let me step up. But like you said, going back to your question with leadership, spiritual or just leading in a relationship, how can you lead if you don't have yourself together? And I'm gonna say spiritually. So even if not, then I don't know what y'all doing, but you know, how can you lead if you don't know, you know, the book of life? If you don't know what I'm supposed to do as a man, you don't know the story of Adam. You know, he took care of everything, but he needed to give that piece of his rib so that way they can run it together. Then how are you gonna tell me what needs to happen in our relationship? You know what I'm saying? And that's a big thing that we run into. I think as far as the being independent, it's a negative connotation because people, like we go back to saying, are intimidated by that. Some men are intimidated, but the right man, they love that because I would think a king would want to have a woman that can run the throne when he's gone. You know, they want to be like, okay, I gotta go out of town. I know my woman gonna be good. She gonna clean up. She gonna cook. I don't have to worry about what she's doing. Like I think we're out of the babysitting stages, and it kind of go back to people being like, well, how did your grandma and your grandpa make it all these years? Well, if you look at just how it was back then, the man ran the house. You know, he went out and worked. The woman ran the house, taking care of the baby. She stayed at home. She cooked dinner every night, and the man went out and worked, and that was it. If that works for people, that's fine. But in 2021, women are having to get out there and work just as hard. So it's not the same. We're not on the same playing field anymore.
I think it's a pride thing with men too, and
Can
like
be.
both of them have it all. I mean, I think we've all heard that you're intimidating, and I think that just means as a man, you got to step outside the box and you got to be more creative. Because what men are offering women are materialistic things, and that's not where we're driven. That's not where our need is. Our need is what we always talk about, our feelings. So that support, that feeling, that feeling stable, that, you know, just that comfort, that strength, you know, just being protected.
Absolutely.
And knowing that you're there, that's what's needed, and that's what's lacking. Because you can go buy me a Fendi or, you know, a Louis or Birkin or whatever, but at the end of the day, you not there. I ain't gonna hug my purse at night. That's not what I want.
Keep me warm.
So I would think, like, you know, to step up your game as far as approaching women who are independent, just meaning taking care for themselves. So we're gonna drop the negative part of it. But having to do everything.
And that's the reason why I brought up that topic, is because I know a lot of men who've been in failed relationships because they didn't even understand how it ended. Because their girl was telling them, their queen was telling them that, hey, you just not leading me down the right road. He's like, what are you talking about? I'm buying you this and that. I even cook, I even clean sometimes, but like, you talking about I'm not leading you spiritually? Like, I talk to God about you, you know what I'm saying? Things like that. But he not understanding, or the king not understanding that you're not living through God. See, what you live, you are a mirror of the queen. Absolutely. So whatever you reflect towards her, she's gonna reflect back towards you. So king, that's a kind of big jewel right now. Exactly. That whatever you give them, they're gonna give it to you back 10 times harder. So a lot of times, if you're not liking what she's giving you, it's Probably because
This what you get.
Come on now.
probably what you gave her. She just stirred it up and made her own concoction. of
Right?
it.
Because
Absolutely.
women are givers. If you think of, men are
We
givers. Women are receivers.
Naturally,
And naturally, this is just the way of the world. You give,
come back
we
around.
receive, and we multiply. Hence the womb, and we give birth. So whatever you give, we multiply that, stir that thing up,
Y'all
cook it
give
up,
it back
and
out.
we give it right back on to
See
you.
the check. And can I make a point real quick? Let me make a point because I don't want men watching this to be like, okay, y'all saying all this that men should do. There are women out there that's not ready.
Right.
You know, just like we say men need to learn
Right.
themselves or whatever. There's
Right.
women out there that need to learn themselves.
Right.
I think we all can agree on
Right.
that. I had somebody tell me, well, because of my past and everything, and I was with women that just wanted to see me down and tear me down. That is a thing. There are some women out there. However, I would tell people you have to know who you're dealing with.
Exactly.
Well, you know what I'm saying? If people say, well, I just have a good heart. Let's stop that. Everybody's excuse is I have a good heart.
Yeah.
You know, don't go all in so fast. So if to give anything to the men, because I love our kings, don't go all in so fast, so quick, you know, because if your thing is, well, I give gifts, you know, that's a love language. If the man feels like, well, I'm giving her a Birkin bag, I'm taking her out to eat every weekend, learn that person to see if that's even what they want.
Right.
Because for me, I love being outdoors. I love, you know, spending quiet time.
Right.
So to buy me gifts, buy me jewelry and all that, thank you. I appreciate it. I'm going to say thank you.
Right.
But that's not what's going to win me over in the long run. But I did want to make that point that there are some women out there that's just evil.
True.
You know what I'm
I got
saying?
you, I got
Yeah,
you,
we're
I
not
got
all
you.
perfect. But
And that's what we're going to talk about on womanhood.
yeah. Uh-oh.
Let's not bring that up.
Okay.
But one of the last topics and deep topics I want to talk about, since we're talking about leadership, the role of a father being in a woman's life. So I know most of y'all personally, but I don't know if I say everybody's father in their life.
Mm-hmm.
How has that impacted you as a woman? Since we're talking about brotherhood, right? Brothers or daddies, you know what I'm saying? Fathers, sons, things like that.
Encounter with
So,
male.
so how can you say as women having a father in your life has impacted you?
I'll go. I will say that having my dad since birth has definitely impacted my life because he has shown me by being active, not just financially, but into the things that I enjoy spending time with me. He showed me how I'm supposed to be treated. So I have a whole different level of expectation when it comes to dating because it's like my dad showed me how a queen is supposed to be treated, and I'm not gonna let you treat me any less. Of course, it's gonna look different, but when I look for a significant other, I'm looking for the level of respect that my father gives me. I'm looking for the attentiveness. Like if I say I need something, is he there? Is he gonna support me? Or he's gonna be like, oh well, that sucks, and keep it pushing. Like yes, mind you, I'm 21, so trust me. But like, oh for real, well just text me when you're done with that. Like for real, you ain't gonna offer to help me with my tire. Like oh, call you when it's done. Okay. So it's like it's a whole different level of standards. So especially since I have my father in my life, I have a whole different level of standard, and it's like if that person doesn't meet it, it's like either you want to work on it or we're just not gonna be able to work until you recognize that that's something you want to work on.
He already set the table.
Yeah, he did,
so
and that's just and that's what I think more just people need in general is that parental guidance and just parents that are involved in their child's life. Some parents don't even know their child's favorite color, favorite sport. They just show up because they're supposed to, or they don't show up because they're too busy. But it's like you make time for what's important to you, and people can feel that. Especially with my psychology background, what you go through in your childhood affects adulthood. So it's like if you are used to someone, used to like feeling neglected or feeling an absence of someone that you're supposed to be important to, that's gonna, if you don't recognize that, that's gonna play a part in your relationships as well. So not even just a man or woman thing, it's a people thing. So that's kind of my little.
And to piggyback off of that, the key word that I took from what you said was standards. So it's crazy because we're in a world, in a dating environment where everybody does popcorn dating, right? And so if you have a standard, it's like, one thing I get is, you a daddy's girl, you spoiled. And for the longest time, y'all, I thought that was a negative thing. Like, I'm spoiled. Okay, I don't want to be spoiled. But no, the fact that I had a father there to show me that this is what a man is supposed to do. A man's supposed to take care of this, take care of that. I'm grateful. I thank God I had that, but I'm still flexible to where the partner that I'm with, okay, if that's what he gonna take care of, I'll take care of this. So I think, and that goes back to men being intimidated. It goes back to pride. You know, if you saying you spoiled, or because you had your daddy, so you're telling me you're used to dealing with women without fathers, with
That's
low
exactly
standards, and that's what you want. You want a yes man or a yes woman, as I say.
They don't like to be held accountable.
Yeah, but I'm gonna hold you accountable.
Come on, man.
And either you gonna step up, you gonna king up, or you gonna king out the way.
Come on, man.
Let me slide over here.
I think people sometimes, or even especially young men, like once they see something that's foreign to them, they go the other direction.
Absolutely.
They're like, I'm not used to this, so I'm gonna stay over here where I know I can get away with this. And because it's like, especially in college, like so many young men are bouncing so many women, and it's like me, I can recognize it easily. It's like if you can't bounce your time, it shows. Absolutely. And it's like you can excuse, oh, I'm in college, I'm an athlete, I have so much time. It's like, but your free time, where is it going to? Absolutely. And it's like a true woman of substance is gonna sense where the extra free time you have is divided, and once they see that you're not fit into that, it's like, we're gonna talk about it. If you don't plan on fixing it, I'm gonna move around, because I understand that my time is valuable just like yours. And if you're wasting mine, then it's like, okay, well, I'm gonna, move accordingly. And it's like, it's all about basically what you decide to put up with. And like I said, sometimes when it's foreign, they like to run. So it's like, once they see that, they like,
right. I got a whole different perspective. And in my age,
we here for a reason. We bring that.
So with the daddy thing, I grew up with my dad, but my dad was also a minister. Okay. So I grew up in the church all day.
Come on,
7 a week. And so that was different. But then now growing up, like I really, there was a lot of unlearning that I had to do, because my parents did what they could do with what they had and the knowledge that they had. So when you become older and you become your own person, it's your job then to evaluate your values and your beliefs. Because at that point, your parents, they did what they could do, and now it's your responsibility to evaluate, and does it line up? Because everybody wasn't blessed to have parents to spoil you like that, which is great. But others may have to, they was there, but they wasn't there. So they didn't give them that hug. They didn't give them that love. They didn't speak to them. They was a provider, and they went and sat down in front of the TV. So you have to take responsibility for yourself as an adult when you get older to evaluate, self-assess your values and your belief system. Because what I found out as when I became older, is that a lot of things that I learned, I had to unlearn. And for me to grow and to be better, I had to challenge myself.
Come on now.
And I can't hold someone to a higher standard that I'm not even doing for myself. So whereas we have a standard, the standard should be first to self-assess, to adjust your values and beliefs, figure out what you want and what you desire, and then live your life, your purpose, and your goals, and everything will be added unto you.
Come on.
That's what I'm saying. If you don't have no foundation, if you don't know, what you're looking for, how you gonna go out there and find it in somebody else?
Exactly.
But I also would like to challenge men too, to those who have kind of started to challenge themselves and know what that journey and that process looks like, to be that example to other young men.
Come on,
because
man.
that's what's
that
needed.
Leadership.
Because like you said, accountability,
that's
that
what the
leadership.
Yeah.
But what she was saying, like she has, in the college perspective, you have all these guys that don't know, old school stuff, hey, how to change a tire. I don't know how to change a tire. Open the door even. If you go to the store, grab you a Sprite, grab me a Coke. Like, it's just, I'm not asking for the whole entire world. Like, 25 cents, you bought me some chips?
That's
thought about me.
You're thoughtful.
The level of thoughtfulness.
And let me ask you, do men know, or is this something taught often, that when you're walking on the street, closest to the street should be the man?
I really feel like she said, it's about
like how you're raised.
How you was raised.
Okay,
So
like that role model.
If you don't have that information in your life, you have to seek that information for yourself.
Absolutely.
A lot of men out there do not want to seek that information because they just raised going by what they were taught. But I'm saying, like what you said, and I say that a lot, it comes to a certain age where you you can't blame nobody else except for
Nope.
yourself.
Nobody, honey.
I'm talking about nobody else.
Right.
Nobody.
Like, even if we all had trauma situations in our life, probably
Everybody.
with parents, relationships,
Yes.
or just us personally, but
Right.
it comes down to a time in our life where we have to handle this and say, hey, LaVassin, I gotta do better.
Right.
Yeah.
I gotta do better for me.
Right.
Yeah.
Because I wanna see better in myself. And so if I'm gonna have a future queen, I wanna provide and build her up.
Right.
And when we have kids, I gotta be the leader of the household,
Yes, sir.
to be the protector and the provider, and be the kingdom man for my family.
Right.
Yeah.
And also get that me time with the God so he can send the blessings to me so I can spread it down.
But it goes back to who are you spending time with?
True.
So I think for men and women, like we joked about it before we start filming, but if a group of alcoholics are together drinking, nothing's wrong with them. You perfect, I'm perfect, because
Yeah.
we doing the same thing.
Yeah.
But it's when you have a sober person come and they like, hey, something's not right. That's when the world is shaking.
Hey, they always say
Get you
lost
some
people,
accountability
lost
partners.
people always like to hang around other lost people.
Yeah, they do.
But hey,
yeah, they do.
ladies and gentlemen, woo!
That was
Man,
just short.
we have had an amazing show, and we thank y'all
Beautiful.
for tuning in. And men, we just want to tell y'all one thing right now. All these topics were not off of emotions. These were off of common sense. These are all something that
Absolutely.
experiences that we all dealt with and that people are going through right now. And that if we get out our ways, you know what I'm saying? If we just what can I say?
Be open.
Be open.
Be open.
Be open.
Be open.
To
have the
new
conversation.
to new experiences,
Yep.
to new environments, to new opportunities. You never know who you can may meet. You never know when your next chapter is and when your next door is going to open. And so, before we sign off, ladies, I want you to tell them, the men with something right now. When I say 1, 2, 3, on 3, I want you to tell the men, just say, I love you.
I was gonna say that anyway.
Just, This is not no controversial type thing. We're not coming to harm you. We're trying to
Yes.
help. You know, that's what the brotherhood is for. To help, to build, you know, to show that love.
Absolutely.
So, ladies, and that 1, that 2, that 3.
I love
love
you.
you.
And we love you too. But I love you too. And
Let me say it again. 1 and a 2 and a 3.
we
love you.
They ain't say 3 times the charm. They give you that 1, that 2, that 3.
We love you.
All right, I'm LaVassin Agason, aka the Love Doctor, and this is the Brotherhood. Please subscribe, because you never know what's next. The best is yet to come.